Good morning. Good morning. Namaste. I don't usually share my morning practice, but today I will. I will for a few reasons. One of them is because last night wasn't a good night. Ah, dear. I had next to my flat, there is a community center. And this community center was rented out to a group of people that were having a very, very, very loud party. From 6 p.m. until 10 p.m., the music was so loud that you couldn't even watch telly or read a book or do anything. It was all invasive, noise pollution, really not pleasant. And there were children screaming, and it was like a complete nightmare. So you would think, well, you're a yoga teacher. You should be able to calm down and meditate. Well, the reality, my friends, is that yoga teachers are human. We are all affected by these type of things. And we have to recognize what's happening and ride the wave. So I did take some actions. I put a complaint with Lewisham Council. I also tried to get my neighbours to put a complaint as well, so that we unite and get a bit more traction with it. And once the music was stopped at 10 p.m., I had a nice cup of tea and I went to bed with a meditation. But of course, that doesn't end there. There's the aftermath. There was some noise at night and I thought, what's happening? I didn't sleep very well. So now I'm going to do my morning yoga practice for reducing vata. So vata is the dosha that has air and space. An excess of air and space will make you feel ungrounded, a bit scattered. The mind will not concentrate very well. That's how I feel this morning. This is why, for instance, not everybody should meditate with music. Music moves the air through the airwaves and it comes into your ears. And many times we just need silence. Today is a nice, fresher morning. So it's good to start the day with a vata reducing practice that will help me centered and be prepared to teach. I have a class at 7:45 here online. So I need to center myself to be able to give, to be able to teach and to transmit from an authentic place. So things that I do when I'm in this space of feeling unsettled. I put an incense stick and I also set up a little altar with some flowers and candles. So that gives me a focal point. That gives me an opportunity to feel I am here now. I am here. This is what I'm doing. I can smell the candles. I can look at the beauty of the flowers. The flowers in Ayurveda represent the element of fire. It's like the blossom of the flowers. So that will help me to get that fire inside me, to have faith that I can calm my nervous system down and I can bring myself into where I want to be. I don't want to be an anxious person. I don't want to be annoyed by my neighbors. I don't want to think I will have to move from London because this is too noisy now. Do you feel like that sometimes? I do. And we need to be able to learn to live with our neighbors in a peaceful and harmonious way. And to recognize what's happening within us, accept what's happening, then investigate what you can do. How can you deal with it? And then you need to nurture yourself. Tara Barch a very, very inspirational mindfulness teacher, calls it RAIN: recognize, accept, investigate, and nourish. So recognize what's happening within you. You feel anxious. So at that time, it wouldn't be a good time to sit and breathe and meditate. Then investigate. What can you do with it? Accept. Accept is first, investigate, and then nurture. So nurture is what we're doing now. Join me. It's going to be just a 10 minutes practice. And you might feel more centered afterwards. Let me know how you feel. Namaste. And I'm not putting music because I want the silence to be part of this practice. I always feel that my neck carries a lot of tension. So rolling the neck side to side helps me release those muscles. There isn't only one way to do it, so just research what your neck is feeling. Keep in mind your intention. My intention is to feel grounded. Cat-cow, articulating the spine. The traditional way of doing it is on all fours, but you can do it from seated, so I'm doing it now. Rolling around in the hips. This is not a yoga practice, so I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing, and you can follow along if you want to. Hi, Frank. Morning practice. You can bring your feet onto the floor and just sway your legs side to side. Letting your hips stretch. Do you feel stiff in the mornings? I do many times. Remember always to breathe. Breathing whilst moving is what makes the difference between yoga and any other exercises. So this is the traditional cat-cow, where you arch your back and open. Try to have your hands firmly on the floor and your knees underneath your hips to give you a good grounding. I like making circles with my hips so that I get the hip flexors moving. You might be able to hear some clicking. Tying the head up will also help you to breathe better. Lovely. Twists are detoxifying. So to calm the Vata dosha, we need to go slowly. Do things that warm our bodies up. And also, repetition is good for the Vata dosha. So moving slowly, feeling every inch of your stretch. And every time your mind goes away, maybe feels connected with what happened last night, then bring it back to the present through the smells, smelling the incense, looking at the flowers, at the candles, and empowering yourself. Because that's the thing, yoga teaches us that we are not victims. We can have a say on how we react, how we live after we had something that took us out of our center. Child's pose, one of my favorites. A few ways of doing child's pose. With your arms in front of you is extended child's pose. You can also have your arms by the sides of the body. Or another one that I like doing is putting my hands one on top of the other, just resting my forehead so that my head and my hips are at the same height. Sighing. It releases tension in the body and the mind. The sound is important for our brains. Downward facing dog. Down dog is a pose that is not always easy to do. You should have your head between your arms and your back as straight as you can. But you can soften your knees so that your upper body can go towards your thighs. Oh, I feel a lot warmer now. Good. So that's it. For me, that movement has been enough. Now I will do a spot of pranayama. And I like sitting on a cushion or on a brick so that I can have my lungs open and my belly able to move with my breath. So I'm going to do alternate nostril breathing using one thumb and then the other. Put my index finger to the base of my thumb, and then I will use the thumb to close the nostrils, alternating one and then the other, just for a minute or so. Sit comfortably, close your eyes. As you inhale through both nostrils, then you close your right nostril and exhale fully through your left. Inhale left. Close your left nostril, exhale right. Inhale right. Hold the breath as you're changing your hands. Close your right nostril, exhale left. And continue like this. Finishing with an exhale on your left nostril. Just take a couple of moments to breathe through both nostrils. You might be able to still smell your incense, your candles, feeling the temperature of the room around you, feeling the ground beneath you, connecting with the sounds. Our sense organs are our connection, our window to the world. And we can use them to heal us, to help us. So namaste, my friends. Thanks for sharing this moment with me. Whether you're doing this practice live or you do it later on, whenever you find this video, this will unite us. Yoga means union, and we are all one. If my neighbors have very loud music, it will affect me. And I want to live in a world that is harmonious. So I am taking steps to take that bad feeling and transform it, doing a bit of alchemy through yoga, through breathing, through meditation. I hope this was useful for you. Yes, yoga teachers get angry, they get upset, and this is fine. This is all acceptable, it belongs. What matters is how do you deal with it? What do you do afterwards? How do you influence the state of mind, your physical state? Because if you let all that tension stay, you will be hatched and you will be feeling unwell. So we have the tools. Join me for yoga online. You can also join me on the 27th of August to learn more about yoga and Ayurveda. I'm doing a yoga day in Westgate on Sea, and it will be brilliant to see many of you sharing that day. We're going to start at 9 and finish at 6 p.m. We're going to have nourishing food, seasonal one, and we are going to have 5 yoga practices. These 5 yoga practices will be inspired on the elements. If it was interesting what I was telling you at the beginning of the class about the element of air and space and how an excess of those elements will make you feel unsettled, then you can experience that as well in the day. We're going to see how to harmonize ourselves with the elements, the environment, and be part of a loving yoga community. Namaste, everybody. I need to get ready for my class. Bye-bye.